Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay. If you start learning Tanya and you open the first first pages, you will see there that the Alter Rebbe, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, says to you, I have answers to all of your questions. Like for 20 years, people came to me. He was the most important and dominant rabbi in white Russia. People came to Jews. There were about 3 million Jews in this period, about 250 years ago, and came to him with questions. Why do I suffer from anxiety? Why do I suffer from depression? How can I overcome my cravings, my lust, my desires? I don't want to be in this place. Why do I feel emptiness? All kinds of questions that you can extract out of the Tanya. And he says, I have answers to all of your questions. And it's beautiful. Then you get into the Tanya. You start learning. No answers at all. You find nothing. What can I do with anxiety? Okay, there are a few places that he talks about thoughts, what to do when your thoughts are running away, and what to do when you are suffering from sadness or despair or things like that. But mostly, he gives you no answers at all. What it does, why it works, why the Tanya, the monumental book of the Alter Rebbe, works so good as a psychology. I think maybe one of the most or the most important psychological book in the Jewish shelf. What it does really, it brings into the life of the one that learned Tanya new light. It teaches you how to think, how to change the question that you ask yourself, how to change your perspective. Instead of getting down with you, it tells you, don't deal with your problems. You have so many problems. Most of them comes from your emotions. The emotions are me. I want to feel, I want to be. Why do I suffer from anxiety? Because I want to be. What will happen in the future? I'm thinking about the future, and nobody knows. Doesn't matter if you're Jew or not, religious or not. You don't know what will happen in the future. That's why it's so natural to be afraid from the future. So because you're afraid for the future, if you'll change your perspective, the way you understand life, the way you understand the creation, the way you understand the relationship between you and godliness, the way you understand your emotions, the more you will understand yourself and your inner battles, the more you will understand what is happening with you. And through this understanding, through this learning, you will be able to overcome your mental, let's say, struggles or something like that. It's like the most important, I think, method or mental health method that the Alter Rebbe is suggesting, and that was adopted by scholars, by Jewish scholars through the years, is learning. Understanding. It's better than, I don't want to offend nobody else, but psychologists and therapists have a huge place. If you're suffering right now, it's not enough to learn Tanya, but the first idea that is suggesting the best tool is to learn, to add to your tool. Learn to understand the creation. The more you understand yourself and the creation, you will be able to overcome. It's better than eating carbs or going out to do sport or to understand whatever. Why learning is so important. Let's penetrate a little bit into it. And from that, we will be able to understand how it works. What should I learn? Okay, so why learning? Learning Tanya, understanding yourself, understanding the creation, understanding Jewish psychology, helps you it's a mental tool. First, instead of struggling with your negativity, when I'm now trying to understand something else beside me, when I'm trying to use my mind to discover something, I'm elevating myself. It's very hard. When somebody is suffering, when I'm in depression, I don't want nobody to show me what is happening outside of the window. I don't want nobody to show me that there is light. And it's very hard for me to learn, because when the emotions are so strong, they illuminate in you in such a powerful way, it's so hard to concentrate. That's why he said you have to find ways and times when the emotions are not so strong to start learning, because when you learn what you are doing, you are helping the mind overcome the emotions, like minimizing the power of the illumination of the emotions in you. What are emotions? Emotions, according to the Tanya and according to Chassidism, it's the engine that push you forward. Why do we have emotions? Because without emotions, I would not want to be connected. You can think about emotions like you think about money in a way. Why do we need money? Starting talking about money, it's became interesting a little bit. Why do we talk about why do I want money? Why do I need money? Money helps me. Money, it's like something that I exchange. I want, if you bring value, you get money. When I don't have money, that means I have to go and to find people, to interact with people, to listen to them, to know what they need, to bring them value. If you are poor, that means you do not bring value to the world. Emotions are the same. I have emotion. Why do I have love? Why God have love? Attributes, midot. Why do we, does, you said about God, does, I don't know, sorry. Why do we have attributes? In order that it won't be God there, you will be able to bring him down to earth, to have connection with him. So when you learn something, just by learning, for this point, it doesn't matter what you learn. It helps you overcome. It helps you minimize your emotion because you get out of yourself. You're not busy only with yourself, with that I think, what would happen with me? Why nobody care about me? Why I'm not influencing enough? Why I don't know why I'm here? I don't have a purpose. Now, what is meaning? Meaning is understanding. It's not what my purpose. I think wrong understanding of Viktor Frankl led to such an I meet a lot of youth that they always ask themselves, do I do a meaningful thing? What I'm doing is meaningful, and they do nothing. They stay in this place because everything that they do is not meaningful enough. In Hasidism, they more important than meaning is shlichut. Is like you have a life mission. Somebody needs you. Get out of yourself. Go do that. Meaning gives you taste to life. You understand why thing happens, why it's so hard. My friend just wrote a book, and I talked about it today, how to overcome a post-traumatic accidents or things that you are going through, involved in your life with Hasidism. And the more you understand, meaning helps you. Post-traumatic growth. It just came out this week, I think, something like that. The more you understand yourself, the more you are being able to have taste, to know why. When you go to families that lost one of their dears, you spoke about 7 of October, and they want to know why. Why? So there is no specific why. But the more you understand the way the creation is running, the way things are happening, the logic of creation, the logic of God, you change your perspective. You stop being a victim of reality, and you start to take responsibility. What helps us more in why it's so important to learn? And it's very hard to learn because now your emotions are controlling you. In order to learn, we said you have to minimize them a little bit, to weaken them. The more you learn, there is bonding with other people. Because when you understand something, you listen to a YouTube, but YouTube that suggested something deep, something understanding of some idea. Now you feel connected to any other person that listened to this YouTube. Why? Because through understanding, we connect ourselves. Community that learns together, it's a stronger community. That's what Jews do. They learn together. It's the best therapy. Because when you learn, you understand more. Even though sometimes you learn not in the right way. There is all kind of learning. Through learning, you have to ask yourself question. Why? To try to understand deeply. And what does it mean to me? And what is the most important thing when you're in depression? Is to find, a path. Way, optimism. What can I do from now? I can change myself. To believe in yourself. When you learn, you find this optimism in you. So the most important question that we have now in the table, what do you have to learn in order to achieve those goals? What do you have to learn in order to overcome undesirable emotions? Emotions that push you forward, that teach you how to connect positive emotions, but emotions that control you and push you back. Like, now I am in anger. I don't want to connect. Those are undesirable emotions. That's why they are negative, because they do not do their role. They do not connect you. And the most important thing that God wants in this world is the connection. Okay, let's go a little bit forward. To to understand what can I learn in the Tanya that will help me achieve those goals, that as a mental possibility or mental cue that we can adapt. Okay, it's very hard to summarize the Tanya and all the ideas around the Tanya, but I will summarize them in 3 points, in fast 3 points. The first one, which is when you not only understand that, when you accept it and you live with that, will change your life forever. It's such a strong understanding. That's what the Yehiel Harari is doing. I wrote 12 books. One book is about this point. Nobody read. Nobody wanted to. Nobody. I sold about 6,000 copies. The other book sold tens of thousands of copies. But it's very hard point. The point is that the world is recreated any moment, is created anew every single moment. It's not like God created the world million years ago or 5,700 or something years ago. He is creating the world through his speech. And it's the only way the Yehiel Harari is trying logically to explain why it goes like that, why it's like that. And it's a long logic understanding, But if we accept that God is creating every moment anew, that means there is a lot of what to extract out of it. That means that you are new in every moment, and your reality is new, and nothing around you is like against you. Nothing is by accident. Everything that you are going through, everyone that you meet, there is a reason for everything. Now we have reason. And it didn't create you for nothing. Nobody, if you are a serious person, you do not do things without a reason. You do things because you have a reason. So he didn't create you without a reason. What's the reason? He wants you. He loves you. He wants to help you. He wants you to be his partner in bringing meaning to this world. And now you have meaning. I am God's partner. It's like understanding the recreation of the world in every moment. It's something that when you understand it, you cannot sleep because you feel that you have so much power in your hands and every moment is in you and nothing, whatever happened, you can recreate yourself. You're really being recreated. So this is the first point. It's very hard to accept because it's hard, because I'm thinking about what happened. Usually my inner battles, in Judaism, you have all kinds of names. It's not ego, it's Yeshut, it's me, it's I, thinking about myself, Yetzer Hara, Sitra Achra. Doesn't matter what's the name, it's all about me. The more, and the thoughts that I have about me takes me to 2 places, to the past or to the future. To the past, what happened to me, why I didn't took this opportunity when I had the chance, why I lost it, why I didn't say that, why I acted like that, why we didn't buy the house, why we sold that. Well, it doesn't matter. Take you to the past. And you are full of self-accusation from all kind. Why I spoke to my daughter like that. Or to the future. What does it mean to the future? To think what will happen. We said anxiety. It's mostly, I want to control the future. I want to be, I'm not saying, now the chat, I will look at it later. Now I'm thinking about what will happen in the future. As we said, the more I'm thinking about what will happen in the future, I want to control the future. If you know how to not to want to control, to live it a little bit, to stay in the present. Why Shabbos? The speaker that spoke before me said about Shabbos. From Shabbat, you learn about pleasure. Pleasure is the most important attribute that you discover in Shabbat. Why? Because in Shabbat, you know how to stay in the moment. Pleasure, it's an attribute that teaches you to live in the moment, to be here. Why? In Shabbat, the laws of Shabbat does not allow you to think about what will happen. I cannot think about Sunday, and then I cannot think about what happened in the past. I cannot think about, I left this on last Sunday, I didn't do that, and what they think about me. It's so hard. It's so hard because our inner battle, there is these powers that in me that don't want me to be in the moment. Pleasure, it's the highest attribute that we have. Whoever learned Kabbalah and Chassidut knows that revealing pleasure in the right way, revealing pleasure, that's why we are addicted to things. because I want to reveal the pleasure in it. After that, if there weren't any pleasure in the addiction, I wouldn't be addicted. I wouldn't be drinking coffee or seeing movies or whatever. So the whole idea is that I want to live in the present. Why? Because when I'm living in the present, that's where I am the partner of the creator. And the more I am his partner, I'm feeling pleasure. And the more, what does it mean practically to live in the pleasure? You deal with that in all kinds of ways, is navigating my thoughts. Through navigating my thoughts, because my emotions are illuminating through the thoughts. If I can control my thoughts, the Alter Rebbe said, I control what? I can control my emotions. And now I can decide if I simply, it's a simple practical thing without changing yourself. If I won't think about what will happen, I won't have anxiety. Because the fear will not penetrate into me because I'm controlling my thought. And if I will be able to be in the moment, existentialist or living in the present, does not mean that you are not moving. Whoever read the Zohar, more than hundreds of times, the Zohar is saying that our sages are walking in the way. They were walking. You have to walk. You have to be, it's a therapeutic thing. You have to be in the movement. You cannot stay in the place. Being present, it's like reading. You read, but you run through the words. But whatever I'm doing, I'm minimizing, I'm concentrating, I'm in this present, in this moment. Okay, so this is the first point. The second point, briefly, is that the creator, it's not a transcendental creator. He didn't create the world from above. He's there and now he's creating the world. No, he's creating it, he's in it, he's giving life. It's like it's the substance that brings life to everything. So if you talk about this phone, there is creator in it that creates every moment in you. That means that everything you can find it holiness and meaning in everything that you're doing. We usually speak about meaning, waiting for something that will happen, something big. But in every moment in life, you can find meaning and mission because every moment is big, is huge. The creator, the Alter Rebbe said at chapter 41 in the Tanya, that he leaves all everything that he's doing in order to create you. And he creates everything. And my existence is connected to your existence in this moment. And when I overcome, it's not that I have anxiety or depression or I'm suffering from emptiness. It's not a bug, it's a feature. That's what God wants. He wants you to overcome that because why it's so important to the Alter Rebbe, he's not a psychologist, he's not a therapist. Why to a Chassidic master 250 years ago, it was so important to teach you how to navigate your emotions, how to control your thoughts. Why it's so important to him? Because he knew. Because this is, Rasak, Rabbi Saadia Gaon says that this is the purpose of creation. Why? Because when you are in anger, as an example, or when you are in stress, it's more than idolatry in a way. When you are in stress or when you are in depression, it's all about me. What is depression? In a way, I want to influence. I want I want people to listen to me. I want people to accept me. That's what I tell the therapist. But I feel that nobody sees me. Nobody gives me likes. Nobody sees doesn't matter. It's all subjective. You can have millions of followers, see Jordan Peterson, but still feel depression. Why? Because it's a part of your nature. Because I want to be accepted. I want somebody, but really, you don't want to influence. Really, what you want? How much time more I have?
We're at time, and we're about to go into Q&A.
To finish.
Yes.
Okay, so last word, and the last idea that you can adopt is that you have an inner struggle between two souls, and from here what you can understand that you are loved, that you are an influencer. It's not like you have the ability to influence, but as we said before, when you are in depression, sometimes you don't want to influence, you want to receive, that people will accept you. And you are not a victim in this reality. Okay, we understood, I think, the point. The point is, the more you learn, the more you understand yourself, the more you get out of the middle of the center, the more it's not about you, the more you you are practicing yourself, like God minimize himself. Tzimtzum tatzmo. It's like contract himself. The more he contract himself, if you will contract yourself, you will be like God, and you will open yourself to a major change. Thank you very much. That's a great question. What is התבוננות? What is contemplation? That you stop. You understood something. Most of us knows what to do, usually when we are, let's take managing your thought as an example. You know what to do. You know you should not think about something. You know you should change one thought with another, but it's very hard to implement because there is understanding of the thing, but it doesn't go and influence your emotions. There is something that block you, and you have to overcome this blockness. And there are few, let's say, weapons that we have in order to overcome these blockages that we have. One weapon is contemplation. What does it mean, contemplation? That I'm trying to understand something, not like seeing the picture from first sight, but ask myself, how is it connected to me? How can I understand? How it will implement or change my life? Every sikha, every ma'amar, everything that I'm learning, I'm stopping a little bit and ask, okay, how can it influence my life? My life? What I heard over here? How it is relative to mine? And the more I am like immerse myself in what I understand, the more it affects my emotions. That's why contemplation is so important. So you take like the idea of the endless recreation. The more you think about it, it will change your life. It's like the most important thing idea in Chassidism, that when you understand it, you said, okay, it creates me now, in this moment. Wow. So what am I doing dealing with myself, thinking that I don't have all the opportunities and all the tools to break through, to understand? And this moment now with my children, they are smiling. Now I'm destroying everything because I think about myself. Okay, get out of yourself a little bit. That's I think contemplation does, and it takes a lot. There is something, if another last moment, something that is not fair. When you speak about physical health, you know that you have to do sport. And you have to run 3 times a week at least. And you have to lift. And if you continue eating this garbage, you will pay the price. You know that. But when you're talking about mental health, you're looking for the pills, the blue pill that you'll take, and everything will be, okay, now it will all change. I will go to the therapist and everything will change. No, it's not like that. You have to walk. You have to go out to walk out 3 times a week, to learn 3 times, to ask yourself questions, to be a serious guy, to bring to your life a new light, a new strong light. Sorry. I think that let's start from another point. The most important thing in that Jewish psychology, that Chassidism and Kabbalah, Jewish psychology, it's the deep ideas that rest in Kabbalah and Chassidut. The more you will understand them, and it's very hard to understand because you have to go through very heavy stuff and to learn most of your day in order to extract them. But then when you extract them, you understand them, it's like the most important value you have in understanding the soul. The way today you say soul, it's like an ancient word. Today say mind. The more you understand your mind, your soul, the way your soul animates the body, that's where the magic happens. From there, you can develop all kinds of practices. So I think the best way to understand Jewish practices is to understand the soul, the way it animates the body. I see today. You do not speak about today. You speak about Buddhism, you speak about all kinds of practices, but there are not a lot or not enough. If you go through YouTube, let's say, or through Spotify, people that speaks, fluently with the English, it's fluent about the way the soul animates the body according to Judaism, where you have so much stuff which is so strong, so godly ideas that you can implement in your life. So I think it will happen in the future. Starting books that is written about that and listen to podcasts. I don't know enough. I know there is a lot of Torah, but not enough about Jewish psychology, but there should be more.